Okay. So you done your homework?
But so, I just left. I couldn't push my thing properly at the end.
So all of you did manage to post to GitHub, right?
Yeah.
That's great. That's
I
good
pushed
news.
first half, but not second.
I didn't.
Okay.
I pushed it.
Yeah, I get this. It says could not push from remote representation.
So the first section was a bit easy for all of us, right? Should we talk about it, or just we can skip and go there? How many you managed to go to the step 4?
I went to step 4.
Step 4?
Yeah.
Did anyone have a specific struggle with step 1 to 3? So I can just quickly cover that one.
Yeah.
You have?
Yes, because I have to put metadata because Russian and Ukrainian language has another letters. It's Kirillitsa. It's not like English letters. We have another.
Okay.
And we have to put meta.
Which one is specifically? Which task is it?
The step 1, step 3.
In
this part, yes.
She had to write the hello word in Russian language.
Okay.
But he couldn't, so he had to put the tag on the HTML.
Yeah.
So for that case, probably you can see here. It's called ASCII code. This one.
It's about importing another.
Not this.
But you managed to write it, right?
You did manage to write?
Unicode.
So how did you manage to write it?
Oh, I asked in
Slack.
and I have to put in HTML meta tag.
Meta tag, yeah, exactly, yeah. There you can also choose the language as well. Yes, excellent. But you didn't have
Unicode.
yeah. So that's a learning as well, right? So in the meta tag you can define the language, English, and then all other languages as well. Yeah. So any other struggle with this exercise?
Yeah, I had problem displaying this length of my string, the kind of program I was writing, and
Okay.
it did not help at all.
Okay, length of it. So length probably I will cover this with the lesson, so I will not go through this one.
Okay.
String length.
The
How big is the length of the string? So you can also get it with the JavaScript code. And did anyone manage to do this?
Yeah.
I have done it, but
I'm not sure.
go down.
Which one?
Go down. Yes, this one. The full one, I think it has a problem.
Which one?
This one.
The house price.
No.
Yeah, the house price.
Why?
Because when you are going to buy a house, you pay for meter square, not equipment.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Matter,
matter.
it's
You
just an
you just have to
exercise.
follow. You just have to follow the comment. You don't have a.
So you use this formula.
Yeah, I mean, just make the volume of the home, and you don't care about. They give you the comment, so you don't have to overthink about that. You know.
So who did this one? Age Iffy? You did?
I did.
Can anyone want to share this? How did you solve it? And
You can go to the GitHub.
yeah, I can open yours.
Only go up. I can send.
Here, right? You can,
No.
No, not that one.
Can you just quickly share your GitHub link there? Yeah. I just want to walk through only one example. See how did you break down this story to a piece of code. Did you manage to post or not yet?
poster. But just a second. This one, smart.
This one, smart case?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So first you need to help us understanding the problem, what you try to solve. Then you explain your code. Quickly. What is it?
As you read here, someone will ask you how old you will be in the future. It doesn't matter when, but or she or he will ask you about the future. The just things that you have to do is create two variables called your birth of. That this means you have to give a value that the year that you have been born. For example, I was born 1988, and another variable called your future. This one is the value is the year that someone asks you how old you will be in the future. And this one is your own age and a future year. But if you show,
So this is the instruction, right? But this is the problem.
this is, yeah, this
You are trying to we are trying to solve this problem, right?
Yes.
And what is exactly the problem is how old will you be in that year, right?
Yeah.
That is the thing.
yes.
So you try to solve this one here, and
But definitely there is a problem on the what do you call it? You know, the direction that they give us. You know,
Yeah, there could be, yeah.
Assign the age.
this is this is just a hint. So you can approach to different ways to
Yeah,
solve this.
definitely, because it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense like
Yeah.
that.
It's okay.
Definitely.
So
This one.
oh man, that long program. Okay.
This is the variable that when you have been born.
Yeah.
born. This is another one when, for example, in 2027, how old you will be. This is the formula that I made it for that.
Mm.
Actually, you will subscribe these years from this year.
Subtract, yeah.
Yes, subscribe. And this is the console log.
Hmm. That's it.
It's very easy.
That's all same for all of you guys. Same
Yeah.
solution. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
But then I will understand I could write shorter and a little bit smarter than this code.
Okay. How?
But with the function, I can.
Okay.
write
Yeah.
it here. Then
Exactly.
Everybody who can put just numbers.
Numbers and get this value. That's great. Okay. That's good. So guys, I don't want to go through all of them. I think just an idea how you just get the problem and how do you break down to a solution. How do you solve it, right? Fix it. That's basically it. Okay. Before I start with the new topic, I want to see how much we covered in the last class. Probably you guys can help me. So this is the one that I taught in the beginning for the whole JavaScript module 1, the basic one. And then the remaining things you will be learning 2 and 3. So for one, like in JavaScript introduction, variable and reserved keywords, data type, like let, const, all this thing, and operator and parentheses, condition, statement versus expression. Sorry?
I think we start at the condition.
So yeah, let's take a quick check. So did you have a JavaScript introduction, right? Already. That's great. So it's done. And variable and reserved keywords.
Yeah.
No, we didn't
we
talk
did.
about reserve.
Okay.
And
Excellent. So I just can quickly talk about reserved keywords. It's very important. And data type.
Yeah.
What are the data types?
We did the
Like
console.
the
Number.
number, string, array, boolean.
Boolean.
Excellent.
Array.
And how do you define this? You know that or already?
Yeah. How do you define the best?
How to define it?
like the array, it's
No, let's say yeah, number, right? How do you define the number data type?
Type of you can.
You mean put in the
No, it's
quotation?
Yeah.
no, it's numbers. For example, it's cons. You put number equals to your assigned number. It's a string. Cons. Whatever you want to put equals to you put it in quotes.
Excellent. I'll just quickly again retouch
But I
the.
think if you just
I'll touch it
explain
again. Yeah.
a little bit, that is
Excellent. I'll do that. So an operator and parenthesis.
Yeah.
Operator like plus, minus, multiplication. You did,
Yeah.
and also parenthesis.
How to divide them?
we learned that.
Sorry.
Which operation you want first and what you want after. That's
Yeah,
what we
exactly.
divide
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You did that?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And conditions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If else, yeah, we did.
Excellent.
If
Yeah. And statement is a theory, it's
No,
not
but
an
but
else.
there is more condition.
Yeah,
When I
like
read
when
one,
and stuff like that. Why?
there's another one they call it.
For
What? Sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
while-
others-
while
others,
also
just we learned one of them.
yeah, so there is loops.
Yeah, that's true. There are more conditions. Yes. Switch. If else and switch. There are three. And loops.
No.
No.
You didn't learn. Okay, so we can talk about this one. And function.
No.
No.
Not
I think we stopped at conditions.
But I have seen some of the guys you're doing the homework with using function and many other things. I was get confused, like why you using function in the beginning of this. And DOM manipulation,
No.
not yet. And these are the ones like just a not a specific
We
topic.
did code comments.
Code commenting you did.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
how to make comments.
And debugging and see errors.
No.
No, excellent. Okay. So let's start then. So for data type, I have here. Okay. This is
Sorry
not
for
visible.
asking. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Yes, I am recording.
Make sure that you make people get crazy at home.
Yes. So so for data type here, you can see string, number, boolean, and undefined null. So did you guys also aware of this undefined and null?
Undefined, null. No.
Not about not, but
But undefined.
We know what is undefined.
Okay.
We don't know about the other.
Okay. You guys didn't look at the arrays, right? Also,
did.
We
you did, and also array this functions.
Yeah. No.
No.
Push pop. No.
Length we did.
Okay.
Length we did.
Okay.
And both shift and slice we did at home with code account.
Okay.
Not,
But push and pop, we did it?
No, we
No,
didn't.
no.
Not in the class.
But it was not
in
assigned.
code account.
Huh?
Code account.
Oh yeah. That's why what I did it.
Okay, guys.
We did it.
So now you really have to help me. I want to, do the way you do homework. Where should I go to do the homework?
Repository JavaScript,
JavaScript,
JavaScript 1.
JavaScript 1. I have to clone this first, right?
Yeah, we did.
But I didn't.
Oh, you
Help
did.
me. I'm doing it from the beginning.
I mean,
So
we should clone the entire repository.
Yeah, enter.
Not only JavaScript.
You have to go back. I think.
I have to go back. Okay. I'm doing it because intentionally. Because if someone of you are struggling with cloning and submitting, that can be just quick check. So I have to go here or where?
No, it doesn't matter
Here.
because we had to clone the entire repository, despite the reason that we have to even push all the homework. So, but you can push only the
Okay,
JavaScript
excellent.
repository.
Just go to the directory that you want to paste.
So what should I do?
Go to the directory that you want to paste the information.
Yes.
Then,
And how do I check?
CD.
no, git set.
ls is like
No, no.
it lists the directories and files or in this
CD
directory.
JavaScript.
CD JavaScript, right?
Yeah, you see that's the master.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. And if you see this on master, that means it's a git tracked,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So and where should I go? CD, which if I don't.
JavaScript week 1.
The JavaScript,
JavaScript 1, JavaScript
JavaScript 1 and then we go.
Oh, in this method you just
Week 1.
clone the one folder, yes?
I mean, it doesn't matter that much, but,
But-
it's better because we are in module JavaScript, so you clone the entire repository.
So week one
You
there.
have to do week 1.
Yes, and then
Yeah, just week 1.
and here is this
Homework.
is homework. Is the homework? I should create a folder, right?
No,
No.
you make your own folder and you make your own
Inside
exercise
the
and
week
then
one.
you push them inside. the
How do you
week
do
one.
it? So week 1 and this I make my own folder, right? Okay.
Because we do have empty in our repository are empty folder.
Yes.
We don't have any homework stuff inside.
Okay, let's create a file. Excellent. And what should I do?
Just create an HTML tag.
HTML tags. And how do I do it?
The first you have to write doc
Yeah?
type HTML in the bracket. Yeah, like this.
Yeah, no, I'm the lazy guy. I have to do it this way.
We are the same.
Yeah, excellent. And what is the important thing I should do?
Script.
Script, right?
The main
You have to put the tag of the JavaScript.
Script.
Search.
No,
Source.
sorry.
And then
main.js.
Whatever JavaScript.
you can call it main, you can call it any name,
Whatever.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter, right? So
That should be .js.
But what is the standard?
I think people call main or index. Yeah. I'm calling it index here, right?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
So, and how do you validate this working?
Write some.
We said what you said.
How do I validate that setup is correct?
You in GitHub you have to add it.
Like this one, right?
Yep.
So,
Inspect.
oh, you guys know inspect? That's
Yeah.
great. I just want to talk about this one.
We use inspector console.
So, what is this inspect?
Show you the what is it the brain of the website the website.
Please don't give too much text.
So basically, just a quick word. It's also in my topic for this JS one. It's a developer tool. Basically, in all modern browser, you have this facility. So basically, if you want to debug your code, that's a very helpful tool for the developer if you want to debug your code. And we mostly use we like 50% of time in debugging and 50% of time coding, something like that. You can imagine that. So it's very important tool. And here there are a lot of tabs you can see. And basically, the Google Developer Tool is the debugger tool is the most popular and commonly used. So you can see in the element pen, it's like a HTML file. In the console, it just you can it's like a REPL that here you can write code and it can execute the code for you. And here the source of the file, and that I have this project here and attached to it. So you can see here like index is empty like this. So these three tools are very important for you guys in the beginning, and remaining advanced. We can come later. Okay. So we will be also using this one. So I want to check that my JavaScript is connected, right? How do you do that?
Sorry?
So here I should write something, some code, then execute, right?
Yeah.
So can anyone differentiate what is difference between JavaScript, CSS, HTML, CSS versus JavaScript?
Say it again the question, please.
The difference between HTML, CSS versus JavaScript.
CSS
mean-
JavaScript is much more difficult.
No, JavaScript is
CSS is used to style the page, and JavaScript is used to perform actions on that website.
Excellent.
yeah.
So basically, this both can be like a client side as well, not server side. So basically, HTML and CSS is like only do a DOM manipulation. It defines the structure, nothing but anything else. And the JavaScript is you can write instruction that computer can perform and do work for you. That's kind of thing. And in JavaScript, HTML, CSS, it doesn't allow this way. It's very unified and structured. And in JavaScript, you can write all kind of programming. So that's basically it. So now we just ask some write command to see, right? Have you seen this one? Alert.
Yeah, we did.
Familiar with this one? So should I write a double quote or a single quote? What do you
Doesn't
prefer?
matter.
And anyone thinks it's matter?
I think,
Yeah,
I
sometimes.
think it matters when you have a quote in a quote.
Yeah,
Sorry.
double
You have
quote.
a quote, it's another quote. It doesn't matter. You can use two similar quotes together. You need to.
I think the single quote and double quote matters only when this data type is string. There it matters, but in other cases, it doesn't matter, like you guys said. But we should be very consistent wherever we are using. So if you're using single quote, we always start to use single quote, and double quote always start to use double quote. But in cases, you can also mix them together and do your own way. Yeah.
But I started a little bit more. I encountered a problem like when you have a quote, let's say you have a quote like that, then inside you have another quote. If you use two similar quotes, it's an error.
That's true. Like I cannot do this. Welcome to JS, like JS class, like this one. It's not possible, right? Yeah. Then I have to put a double quote here. When this is a string and it has repetition of the single quote or double quote, then it's a problem. Yeah, exactly.
If you put the slash here, you can.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can do that. That's true. Probably I will also cover this one in the string, section. Okay. And it's working, right? So all time, if I write something here in this here, and then I come here, I basically do a refresh. So don't ask what's happening. Okay. So it's working, right? Great. So last time I heard that you guys used pizza example, right?
Yeah.
For everything, pizza.
Yeah.
And should you use this same similar one so just you stay in context and then it will be easier for you guys?
Other
Yeah.
food.
Yeah. Huh? Okay. But probably I can try to use the pizza one, and then you guys have to help me because I was not there and there's no recording. I cannot see what kind of pizza name you mentioned or what is the variable thing you have done. Probably you guys can remind me and help me here if I start using them, right? So let's talk about first. What is this one? Data type, right? So I'm just covering, try to cover basically everything. Probably a little bit of from the thing you discussed in the class 1. So probably this slightly redundancy, but not that much. So let's create a variable with the data type string. So anyone can help me? So how do you create variables?
Const.
And what is variable?
Variable is look like a tag on something.
What?
I don't know how.
Anyone?
What is variable?
Yeah, I know you guys can create variable like with let, const, and var. There are 3 syntax you have. But why is variable? Why do you need that? Yes, and why is that?
Because you can.
Is an element.
So basically in programming, everything is data, right? So we are talking about data manipulation, data, we're handling stuff, right? So to do that, we need to store this data somewhere. Because in programming, do you know how this program runs in the engine, programming engine? It runs each line by line, right? So if I write an instruction without a variable, right? So it can run the first line, and then in the next time, if you want to reuse this again, so you cannot use them. So basically, for reference purpose, we need to store in variable, and variable is everywhere. So we should assign everything to the variable. And there are some few lines you can see with that variable. These are the expression, statement, something like that. But you will get to know when we write something here. So let's help me with some creating a variable with a string.
You know, asking what is variable is something that it doesn't, because when you say what is variable, it's an element. That's it. I mean, it's an element that can change or not in base what are you doing, you know? I mean,
See here, our first line is like this one, console, right? Console.log. I can say here right this way, right? So without variable, I can also write a code that can JavaScript understand and execute this, right? But why do we need variable? We can write the program this way.
Yeah, no, sometimes you need it because it kind of shortcut, you know. It helps you to don't repeat yourself every time, and it helps you. Huh? You can.
Exactly. So variable is like it's like a a box that can store your information.
Yeah.
That can store your information, and it will return you whenever you ask for it. That's the thing. So here, this is the line it execute, and it's forget in line number 3. That's it. It's gone. So if I want to reuse this one, I will not cannot retrieve it. I should have to write it or do it in different way. So variable is help us in this way. So every time we should do something, we should store it in variable if it's valuable information. For instance, see here.
Possible if you just very short explain what's the difference between const let and
yeah, I'll do that. Just declare a variable. So it's the name here, right? Yeah. So here I can write my name, right? Sorry. So and then I can also use this variable as many times as I want, right?
Yeah.
So you guys already did. And then how can I use this variable here in this?
Name inside of the bracket.
Inside of the bracket? Yes. And do I need any comma or anything?
No.
You need that plus less than the name.
My name is, you take away the
Like this?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's an addition.
Yeah.
Something added.
Excellent. So I always come here and then refresh. And how do I see this information?
In the console.
Yeah, excellent. Console, yes, it should be here, right? This name here. So I can often use this variable, right? So let's say I want to change the name, right? My name to different thing. Variable is like a box. It can store information, right? And also you have a flexibility that you can change their value. So basically, variable is kind of syntax. It start with the some data type. It's a type, and then it's a name. It's a strange symbol, you can say. The first is part of is called name, the variable name, and the second part, after the equal sign, it's a value. So variable, if when you declare, it should have a name, unique name, and then it should have an assignment operator. The equal sign is called assignment operator, and then we have some value, right? Okay, and now I want to change the name from Abed to, let's say, someone. Badr. How do I do it? Can anyone help me?
Name
Equal.
Quotation.
So I can use double quote as well.
Yeah.
It no need to. So to be consistent, I want to use this one, right? And
BADR.
other, right? So I can also see the output here as well, right? Okay. Okay. So now we can also we declare the variable with let. Why we did declare with let?
Okay, let
So we
is
can change
Well,
allow you.
how many ways you can create variables?
Just one. Allow you to use that variable in the expression that you're using it. In the block and the expression that you're using it. You can. It doesn't have the meaning only in that expression. If you use it more than a time, you can.
You said you can declare using
That we can change the
No.
values.
What I'm saying that let allow you to use the name only that you can change it.
Okay,
Const
let's
is
figure out.
permanent.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah.
Now you are doing it.
Yeah.
I'm saying because he said, first if I'm not wrong, that how many ways can you define a variable, right?
Let's figure out. I still don't know. Let's find out. So we can define, at least the one thing is pretty defined, that we can define variable in 3 ways. What is the 3 ways? So how many this command
Const
slash?
Yeah.
It's a command, right?
Command.
What is command? Quickly.
Common.
Comment is the
Comment.
one that JavaScript engine, the engine doesn't execute the code. That's it. It doesn't execute. It's skipped. It's helpful information for the developer, for the codes who want to read your code. Not for the machine. It's for human. Solely for this one. Okay. So variable. So how many ways we can create variables?
let
Let,
Let const and var.
const, and
Var.
var. Yes, 3 ways. That's true. Excellent. So we tried with let, right? And you know what is let, how does, and what is const does. You also already answered some of the guys. So let's do the const, right? So instead of let, I'm replacing with const, right?
it give you an error
Why is that error? Why it will give me error?
because you are declaring you are changing name. You're trying to change name. Okay,
Yeah.
and the same name variable, okay, is declared in the const variable. So you can't change it because const have a unique meaning. When you name that
Let's figure it out. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right. It's giving some error, right? I just refresh. I saved and refreshed. So it's basically saying, and this is also part of the lesson today. So how do you read error messages? Because in oftentimes this is the help I told you. This is developer tool. It's called developer, right? It's basically for developer. So whenever we write something and this gives us error messages, something in code, it's something went wrong. So if the last message is in red, it meaning that your program has some issues, and last message shouldn't be red. Then it's okay. If it's the red, then you should have to fix it. Okay. So let's see what is error message saying. So you see a little arrow here. So it says uncaught type error assignment to constant variable. So basically at line number 9. So let const means constant. So basically the constant means once you defined, you cannot change. That's the idea. That's it. So const is a type of variable you declare. You will never change throughout the program execution, ever. And let you give the freedom that you can change often and often. That's the true difference. That's it basically. Nothing else.
But var and let has the same function. Then why do we have two types?
Excellent. So let and const is introduced in latest JavaScript update, which is called ECMAScript 6 and 2015 or something. So before we were only declaring a JavaScript variable using var. That's it. That was the only one. But now then they have defined the 2 way we can define variable let and const because of this one, that you don't change the value. But the new latest JavaScript version, it also allows var as well. So basically you have 3 now. So var can do both of the things. Var basically it work like let.
Okay. But it's encouraged to use let.
We should use let and const. In some cases, there are very few rare cases you will find a situation that you will not be able to use let and const. You need to use var. And there one more primary objective behind this. It's a scope. Our program will be written in many different files, many different blocks. Like blocks. Do you know blocks? Blocks like a function is a one block of code. If else is a block of code. So here is a block of code. So there will be many block of code, and class will be a block of code. So how do you share this value? Like if you define a variable in a class that can be shareable with other class, that way you can share things, right? And if you know the programming, the object-oriented programming, there's a way you can share, exchange data. But if you declare with anything with var, then it's a globally assigned.
Okay.
So you just can share without anything. You can access it from any class, anywhere.
So var is more flexible.
More flexible,
Okay.
and have more.
Problems.
Yes, it can generate more error and confusion. Because object-oriented programming is a sort of structured way, so it has a lot of restrictions. You can share data this way, so data is protected, and you will not tamper the data accidentally. But here, var, it has the risk. Okay. Okay, so this is the basic difference, but there's two difference. One is this one sharing, changing values, and the global scope. You know, way of doing. Yeah. So that's basically a very light talking variable. So we tried with string. Let's try it. String. So what I need to fix this one? I need to change this to let, right? Excellent. String. So for string, okay. One thumb of rule is like you try to use always const first for defining a variable, and when you feel the need that you need to reassign the value, then use let. Okay. Let's start this practice. It's also it's industrial advice. So you start with the const first. Then if you see the need, then use let. Okay. What should I write variable?
Favorite color. That doesn't change.
Let's color. So color, I think city is the best one. Okay. So string, right? Okay. I think price. Let's just to explain the string. I want to do the integer number first. So let's say it's a price. I'm defining a price, right? It's a variable, price 1, price 2, price 3, many prices, right? So give me a price or something number.
4.
4, okay. And const price 2. 5, excellent. So if I want to, console, like total the price, how should I do it? Okay, does it matter the space? Can I do like this?
No.
No.
Because it's valuable.
I mean,
It's not
no. It should work, but it gives you sometimes error. I don't know. In the exercise that we had on the book, they give you definitely error something.
It will never give you error. It will always
It
work.
should never.
Never. So basically, we do space for readability. So we should be able to read the code. That's the thing. So let's see if it's working for us.
Price.
Okay. Right? You should never give error. That's the thing. So we do space because of we want to read it properly. That's the thing. So this way you can do this. So and now this is becoming as a number, right? Because I'm okay. How do you verify this is the number? By looking at it, or any smarter way?
Yeah, that's
Type of, excellent. So probably we can also do that one. Type of. Type. So how do I do it?
No. Type of it should be like this. Yeah.
Type of what?
Price
Let's say
1, price 2.
let's say I want to see the total type of. So I store in
Price two.
another
You have to write a new code.
const sum. Let's say.
Yeah. Sum price 1 plus price 2.
Price 2, right?
So even here in a console.log, yes, you can write sum. That is sum.
Right?
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Please, if it doesn't make sense, let me know. So it's number, right? And why it's giving this weird thing to me? Yeah. Can anyone explain why it's giving this quotation mark here?
Because you're making a space, and a space is a character,
Show me the code again.
part of the string.
Quick, someone.
Space.
No, it's basically I use comma here. So one comma means one, way of explaining console. So if you don't want to have this space, so basically you use the plus sign. So what the plus sign does? It concatenate the whole thing as one string. Okay.
Concatenate.
Yeah. And 9 types number. What is it? So why it's not? How can I give a space here?
Before the T, give a space.
Just need to space before the type.
You start your string with
Before the
space.
type.
Before the type?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Give the space, and now you have space. Yeah.
It'll give you more
Okay.
space.
More.
Or otherwise you can
Latency,
add.
Okay.
That's what you can add like this.
This is not
so this is easy.
Okay. Excellent. So if I do like this, 5.5, what do I expect here?
What do you want?
Say it again.
The price too, I just say is 5.5.
It's 9.5.
I give you 9 pounds.
Type is number, right?
Close number.
So if I do this way,
But it's not there. It comes none.
You can.
NUN, yeah.
what?
Capital.
Because you cannot do the no. The result will be strange. Yes.
No, hold on. Well, okay. If you do the what do you call them? The quotation on 5.5, you can't do the addition with a string with a number. But we give you error.
No, it won't be an error because they are a value. It comes 4 and
Let's see what is it. Let's see.
5.5.
So it's giving.
Okay.
It's giving
No,
45.5.
it's 5. It's 4.
Like that.
So I said 4 plus 5.5, but it's giving 45.5. Why is that?
No.
This is a string. You know, it's a 4 and
It added like a string.
It's string, yeah.
So the basic and
You can
to
do
check
the thumb.
the what is the type of. So you can see here is string.
String.
So basically the theory behind is like if we try to add the plus sign here, the plus sign. This one is a key thing.
Addition.
So what it does, actually in JavaScript, we are not like in other programming language, we are not defining this variable is like an integer. Do you know integer, right?
Yeah.
Integer, string, character, or decimal, double, or any other type. We are not defining it, right? So the plus sign, it takes some smart decision of what to do. So whenever it finds that it is to a number, not a string, then it treat as a number and then do the operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication. But if it find one of the argument is a string and it treat everything is like a string. That's it. So variable 1 is a string, variable 2 is a string. And if you also do another one, it also consider as a string as well. For instance, 6, right?
45 dot.
Like this. So it's not even adding like a 45.5 and then plus 6. It's not doing it. It just treated as whole statement as a string. Okay. So this is the difference between string and number. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it like treat the numbers together as a group and then add the string afterwards?
Sorry. One more time.
Like, can you go back to the code? Yeah, you have 2 numbers and a string, right?
Hmm.
Why doesn't it like add the 2 numbers and then adds the strings to them? Why does it treat everything?
Yeah,
as
that's
a string?
true, right? That's the thing. That's the trick. So it should actually treat like say 4 and 6
Like
as a
10
number
and
and 10 and then add this string,
Yeah.
right?
Because when
So-
the strings comes,
That's it. In this whole operation, full operation, is one line, and everything has the the precision. Do you know
Yeah.
which comes first, right? if you don't define the parenthesis, the bracket, so it's like everything has the same weight. So it treated like as a generic thing. No one is higher than anyone else. So price is not have a higher priority than price 2. Price doesn't have the high priority of price. So plus try to decide if any string, then it consider everything is a string. But we can do it like this way. For instance, as you mentioned, so price 3, just to do make it working.
Even without.
So this will treat this only as a number,
Yeah.
and then as this is a string. So what should you expect here now? The output, can anyone?
10. 5.5.
5 plus 5.
105.5.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
105.5. Yeah.
Yes.
105.5.
Excellent. Let's see.
Yeah.
not 100.
So this way we can
The group then.
group them.
But because you put them on the brackets, it's happened like this.
Yes.
If you delete the brackets,
Yeah.
It's
So it's like that everyone has the same weight.
4, 6, 5.5.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see that.
Just delete the bracket. And
No,
now
I don't know.
four,
I don't think so.
so.
I don't think so. No,
No.
because
No.
JavaScript do it in order. As you said,
In order, yes,
in
yes.
order. So it come price 1 and price 3.
So if you do this in order, right? So basically, this way you also can play at home with this. Just this is the best way to learn. Instead of going to books, reading a lot of materials, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense. Okay, excellent. I don't know. Am I doing a repetition of the class?
No.
Week 1. Let me know if I'm doing repetition. I don't want to cover this thing. Boolean type. That's very important because I'm doing it because I'll be using them a lot. And today, if it's possible, or tomorrow. So what is Boolean?
True or false.
Boolean is just
Condition is true. Either it's true or false.
So Boolean is a special type of
Variable.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a variable, right? Yes, and it's
function.
only, this is the one, true. Yeah, false. That's it. True and false, and in lowercase, not capital T, all caps. It's not like that. True and false. Okay. So how do you define a Boolean? Like a data type Boolean or what?
no. Let, for example,
Yes.
let.
In other programming, you will see a Boolean type, like you can declare as a Boolean, but not in JavaScript.
Const.
So first,
Or less.
rule of thumb is define with a const if you don't reuse it. But if you're reusing it, then JavaScript the developer tool will give you alert that okay, I'm reusing the variable. If you can't able to identify, then you change the variable. Okay. So
The name.
Choose one.
Now you should choose the name.
name. What is the name of variable? Right now I should declare a variable. That's it. And what should be the variable name?
Choose one.
Choose one.
No, whatever. It doesn't matter. What.
I need that's matter. So you see here.
Should be related to what you are.
I'm trying to covering here a naming convention and code beautification. So basically, we should write a variable that matters, that has a meaningful word. So I cannot write like this one. I can do that. It will not complain. But what is I means?
Yeah, it should be related to what you are doing.
Yeah, items. Yeah,
But
it could
you
be.
shouldn't use this because when it comes to the arrays, you can use it for example, push or pop or shift.
Yeah. Yes. So
It's better not to use it.
So one more trick on this one, we define a variable normally in a way that we can read, we can refer, we can reflect on it. But sometimes we also use this way, I, J, X, Y, Z, when it has a very short duration, like you don't have to remember this thing. If you declare a variable I, and in the second line use it, and afterward you don't want to refer this anymore. Like see here, we wrote 21 lines, right? And here I'm scrolling. So I want to use the variable called name, right? So I don't know what is the name was. So I'm using it here. So it's a long duration, right? So I should define it in a meaningful way. But if it's a very small thing, like for loop, we use I, J or something like that.
Otherwise, you can write E and then comment for just remember it. Comment say that E is for blah 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 blah.
So what it means? We can say it's sunny day. Okay, just so if I say true, right? This is this. I didn't give any quotation, right?
No.
If I do quotation, what will happen? It will
Again,
treat as a string, right? So now we can validate this. How do we validate this thing? Console.log.
Is it Sunday? No, you should be on this.
Why I do this? Because I want to always, see what I'm printing here, because it's getting increasing.
but it's true. It's not
Oh yeah.
true.
So type of is a boolean, right? Okay. So it's basically boolean is like a it has on two values. One is truthy and is falsy, right? True or false. That's it. And what is the value of truthy and falsy? Like true is is a boolean value, right? True, right? And false is false. It is also boolean value. So we also covered the condition, right? In last class, if else. Okay. Just let me see. Follow. I think let's cover the condition. Yes. Okay. So if
It's sunny day.
so, if you don't see this, suggestion in your computer, it's okay. It's just IDE is helping me. This VS Code, if you're using it, you can get it. Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, you just remember or copy paste. Okay. It's sunny day. So I want to say that if it's sunny day, then I'm happy. Otherwise, I'm sad. How do we make it?
A bracket.
I want to print a line. I want to express my feeling here, right? In here that I'm happy or I'm sad. How to do it?
I don't know how you call it the special bracket. The third one.
Curly bracket.
Huh?
Do curly bracket.
Oh, curly bracket.
You don't need to.
First thing, you always do programming this way. I am. Can anyone help me?
You should,
So what it gives? Oh man,
Yeah.
it's missing something, right?
Put the slash after I.
You can use double quotes.
No. Put the slash after I.
Let's stick to the single quote. Always want to use the single quote. So how do I change?
Slash.
Slash. Oh man, I don't know how to copy this. Anyone with the Mac keyboard can help me the key? Slash key? Is it my machine?
Mine is David.
I can sell my laptop.
no, it's not like that.
Oh, yeah, that one.
It's that one.
It's nice to earn, I think.
Next to M?
It should be on the keyboard.
Yeah, man. Is it my computer? I don't know.
What is it?
But
I have here.
But it's different from you.
Isn't it like by the chef?
Mine gives here. This one.
Like, ours is
Like it's different. They don't have it on the keyboard.
Strange. You know, when you see the video at home, just skip it. Okay, this way. And what it does, anyone?
String.
Yeah, why I'm doing it, slash. And now it's the error is gone, I guess, right? The error is gone. And I'm happy. So basically, this is a special character. It's skip the next value. So basically, the engine is try to do something, and then it says try to end the statement here. But I don't want to end the statement here. I just want to say a full thing as a string. So skip this one. So it's called skipping character. So I can write here JavaScript Special character, where is it? So here,
Backlash. Backlash.
this is the one, right? Escaping character, okay? So you can see the tricks, how can you use them. And if you need to really print like a slash, so you need to do it twice. So it will escape the next one as printed as slash. Okay. So my intention is to write this statement, right? But I wrote it like a static. It will never change. As I do a refresh 10,000 times, it will never change, right? So I want to make it interactive. So like it should depend on the day. Is it sunny or not sunny, right? So how should I make this as a program?
Put the statement and give a value, for example.
So in our mind, first we think, okay, we need to validate something. Validate, okay. If it's true, if it's false.
Yeah.
So you see the sense of truth and false, right? Yeah. Then we should do something. So to make it true and false, there's a way to do it condition. So if, and don't ask why I'm giving a bracket. If it's
sunny day equal true.
sunny day.
Curly bracket. No, without. It doesn't matter because you already declared before.
No,
So-
No, we
first you should
have to
make the
already
value, for
declared.
example,
Oh,
Let's
let's
do it twice.
equal to I'm so happy. Then, for example, that sad equal to I'm so sad. Then you make a statement for.
Yeah, let's keep it simple. I know it's a bit complex for giving the theory here. I just want to see the conditions. So
Curly
let's.
bracket.
So I need a bracket,
Curly bracket.
curly bracket here, right?
And inside you put the console.
Constant here, right?
Then
So what we'll do?
But you didn't say equal true.
No, it doesn't matter because you already declared. You see, const. If you didn't, you do it inside.
Yeah,
But now if true,
it's
console.
already
If false, with else false.
So else.
Usually you don't need to make curly bracket again because in other programs you don't use them. On else.
Which another program?
It work anyway.
So
I don't
here,
know, I never tried in JavaScript.
okay,
I'm not happy.
and it doesn't execute. And how can I make myself not happy?
Change
false.
true.
Change to?
Yeah.
False.
I'm not happy, right? Okay. So basically, two things here I want to address. One is this about the curly bracket. Why is we should do it or we shouldn't do it? Something like that.
On else.
And this is the one. So this is the key. In this parenthesis, the bracket. So basically here, whatever you write, if it's truly, if it's boolean is true, then it comes to this piece of block. Otherwise, it goes here. So in our case, somebody asked why we didn't write this way, right?
No, I have asked for that.
Yeah, basically. So we didn't, but still working because what is the type of the variable here? Is
False.
boolean, right? It's
Yeah,
boolean.
yeah.
So it's already a true the value. It's a true the, that's why it's executing here. So if I say it's here, 32 degree. Let's say if it's 32 degree, then I would say it's sunny. Otherwise, it's not sunny, right? So how do I make it? So
Very good position.
still working. Why is that?
Because you declare the condition before the if statement. So
I'm just I told you before that if it's a boolean, true the that's why it's coming here, right?
yeah.
If it's false, but it's not a number boolean. It's like a type of is the number, right? Type
Yeah,
of is
but
the number.
The if
Excuse me. When you write this, now the if sunny day is a number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And you won't console log it. Then you come to the other line, and now it's console.log is working.
Okay.
you are asking the if statement, the if condition to verify the condition that you given him.
Let's.
So it doesn't matter of what is inside the condition.
Actually, let's learn. As I told you, just to come this line, like say I want to make it here. I'm happy. If I'm happy, I want to make it like 10 times, 5 times happy, or 3 times, right? And if I'm not happy, one time only. So I'm really happy, okay? So to come to this section of if block, this place need to be validated as true.
True, yeah.
True, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yes. Then it comes here. Otherwise, it goes
Yeah.
here, right?
Yeah.
That's the way. So
But I don't get it. Like the type is a number. It's neither true or false. It's still gonna run the first console log. It will never run the else if you change it to another number.
no, never change. Yeah, never.
Yeah.
So how can I?
In
How
order
can I?
for the else to work, it has to be a boolean.
Yeah. So how can I make this should come here? So we can say here
Equal
to
33.
33. If it's 33, then it's sunny day. Otherwise, not sunny, right?
Okay.
If I do this one,
I'm not happy.
I'm not happy. Then it's becoming the statement that this is a statement. This statement itself becoming as false. It's not a true anymore, right? Then it goes to the next block. So let's learn what can be a truth and false value. Okay, I have a pretty nice slide here for you. Can you read it?
False.
Okay. So the false value is like false. Sorry, about the type. It should be small as f. Anyway. So this f is like a small f. It's a type mistake. Okay. So it's false is a false value, and 0 is also a false value. Okay. And empty is also a falsy. Empty string is also a falsy. Null is a falsy with small n. An undefined falsy, and then what more? NaN.
What is that?
Excuse me, empty strings is a value.
Not available.
Let's. So here, how many falsy value could be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And rest are everything is truthy. Everything else is truthy, right? Let's prove ourselves. So. Let me know if you guys get bored, so we can go for break. Okay? You're not bored yet? Where I am now? Yeah, here. Okay, so I said, okay, if it's let's not do it here. So now it should be true, right? Because is it false here? This value is 32, right? It's not false, it's not 0, it's not empty, it's not null, it's not undefined. So it should be truly, right? So I should be triple time happy. Yes, I'm happy. Let's make it here. Sorry, 0, right?
That should be false.
I'm not happy, right?
Because
0.
it's different from the condition that you're declaring in the if statement.
Yeah, just not forget about the condition now. I'm just want to say what is truthy and what is falsy, because it's very important. You will be using many conditions, and often you think, okay, I pass a 0 value. Why it's telling me it's false? It should be true. It should be true.
Okay.
I want to say it's
No.
Can you go back to the code?
yeah.
If you
Let's say if I want to doing an empty string, right? Like this. I told you empty string as well as a false, right? Let's say if I'm not happy still. Refreshing, I'm not happy either, right?
But
Yes?
if you do is sunny day equals 0, and then if sunny day equals 0 equals 0, it gives you 3 happy. It does.
Yes, that's you were saying this one, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely it does. Because
No,
Yeah.
then see, it's now it's turning to something else. So I'm just trying with the value now. Now it's validating two things here. So you know what is this this operator is?
yeah,
What is it?
it's the same type and same value.
It's equal.
It's called comparison. So
Compare.
you are comparing two things, right? So what I'm comparing here is sunny
Value
equal
and,
comparing. So see the left part is sunny, right? And what is the right part?
0.
0. So what is the left part is? It's just 0.
Zero.
So I'm comparing two things. 0 equals 0. Yeah, is it true?
It's true.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, it's false.
Why is false?
It's true.
It's equal
I'm
to-
asking you as a person, right? Not as a program. 0 equals 0.
Yes.
Then I'm right? It's correct. Then itself the whole expression become truthy. Yeah. So you can only come in this 3 time happy if it's only truly, not the true value, truly. But true itself is a truly value. That's the thing.
But if you use three
No, it doesn't matter.
equals, it will be changed, yes?
3 equals a different thing. So basically, the comparison, if you can do the with 1 equal, what is it? 1 equal?
Say it again.
Yes, assignment. 1 equal.
Yeah.
So here, right? See, this is one single equal sign, right? It's an assignment. So when you assign something, that we use 1 equal, and double equal is a comparison, and triple equal is just comparison with a type of.
The type of, yeah.
So basically here, see, we often said, what is it? String, right? So it will compare the value with the type. So let's say this here, right? If I do this, right? What will happen? Anyone can tell me?
Now we give you. I'm not happy.
I'm not.
It will give you.
No.
Let's try.
No. No.
Still, I'm happy.
No, I'm happy. If you do three equal, it give you. I'm not happy. If you do 3 equal.
Yes, you're right.
So see here, 0. It is 0, right?
Yeah.
0 equals 0. But I said it's not 0. It's a string, right? Here.
Yeah.
But it says no. It's not a string. I'm saying it's truly. Why? Because it just compare with the value, not the
type.
type. So if you want to do the type, so add 3 types.
Now I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Because the value is the same, 0, 0.
Excellent.
Doesn't matter the type of.
Okay. So now you got the idea, right? So and now try to make myself falsy with this value. Let's do this experiment, right? How can I define empty string here? So for now, I'm just removing this one. I'm not doing any more, double checking the condition thing, right? Just one value. So empty string, right? I said empty string. I don't know. Does it count empty string?
That's not empty.
It's not empty.
No.
Let's see. I don't know. I'm just trying. Let my program tell me what is it.
No, it's not empty.
It's not empty, right? That's true. Just to learn. And then null. How do I write null? Null in a bracket. When it comes in the string, it always is string. It's not null, it's not anything. It's always a string, right? So to define is the null this way, okay? Then
Not happy.
it's false, right? That's why. And what else? Undefined. So let's try it. Right? Now, what I will get? Anyone guess?
I'm not happy.
Anyone?
Give me one.
It's-
second.
it's-
So
That's
can
one
you show
second.
it again?
I just said it's not, see here, I'm just taking one by one, right? I tried with false, 0, empty, and null, and now it's turned to be undefined, right? Obviously, it's small u.
Give you an error now. Because
It will be shown that I'm happy.
no, it give you an error because
What do you say? I'm happy
I'm happy.
3 times, right?
I think
Yeah, and you said? Anyone? You?
I'm not happy.
You're not happy, okay.
why is it?
Next, you. Anyone, quickly. Error. Why is the error? Who said error?
I see the error.
Why?
Because you are undefined the variable. If you are calling it, it's undefined.
Let's try. I think you guys are correct.
I'm
Who are correct?
I'm not
Error.
No, I'm not.
No.
Yeah, undefined type.
Because it's false. You know, false.
I don't understand.
Now, undefined is false. So if it's false, it's
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
Anyway.
I'm not happy.
And if I do this way?
No, that's an error because you are not giving a value to its candidate.
Exactly. It will give me a...
That's definitely undefined.
Yes, I'm not happy.
No, it's error.
That's error.
It's error.
Let's try.
100%.
And
Let's try.
If it's not,
None.
okay.
Yeah.
Who said undefined? It's not undefined.
You didn't declare the variable. You don't
I
have
declared
a-
the variable, see?
No, you didn't initialize. You didn't give a value to the variable.
You
It doesn't
just
matter.
assign it to any-
Huh?
It doesn't matter. I
It's not, it's
declared.
nothing. For the program, it's
See.
nothing. It's not a string. It's not a number. You have to declare it.
No,
What kind of variable
he
it
declared
is?
the constant without assigning it to anyone, making it a variable. So
Yeah.
he basically declared the constant without a value. That's why it's undefined.
Oh, it has a difference between.
Yeah, because it was a constant and he didn't assign it to any number,
Yeah.
to anything.
So there's another difference in Latin const. So in const, it expects some value,
Yeah.
and if it's let, what it does for us? Can you see here? Is sunny? It says undefined. The value itself is undefined here. Type of is sunny is undefined. So if you define with a let, it's create the variable for you, but without any value to it.
It's waiting for you to
To you can do it later, but you cannot leave it like that. Const something, and then you define later. It doesn't.
You have to do it
It's
right
not possible.
away.
It's not allowed. So we should be declaring in the same go. Okay. That's also one big difference in const.
It means we have to use const often as we can because it's easy to find the issue now.
Sorry.
We have to use const much more
Often,
now
yes.
we can, because it's much more easier to find issue in our program.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Okay. So now is enough with the one more remaining only, right? How do I do it? Oh, it will not work, I guess.
How do you pronounce it?
What is the
Not
difference
pronounce-
between none and none?
What?
What is the difference between none?
Not a number.
No, not none.
Not a number.
Any-
And null is null. Is nothing.
It's basically
Oh,
the same.
okay.
It's not available
Because
now.
I've read
Is it
about
not
it.
available?
Okay. Let's say here, right?
It's not a number, no.
Let's say here. See here. We said we cannot leave this one something, right? Something like this, right? But you really don't want to assign any value. Just nothing. It is nothing. How do you do it?
So with the none.
Then you use this as a none. So none itself a value, but it is nothing.
Just
Then it will not
give you
complain.
any error.
It will not come. See, it doesn't complain.
Yeah. It's like space. It's like nothing.
No, it's not even a space.
It's
So,
really
so
something-
let's see what is the type of the this one console. So to validate this is a space or something else. So you always do a type of. Okay, type of what? Something.
No.
It's an object. Yeah. Actually, we'll come to this one later, but it's an object. Yet, it's a bit far. The object we have, I think. Oh, you should here, right? Object should be somewhere. I didn't mention here object. Yeah, I'll try to recover. Yes. Yeah. What else? Okay, I didn't say the reserve keyword. I forgot this one. So, what is reserve keyword?
What?
Reserve keyword. You see?
Oh, there are keywords that you cannot use.
So basically, let's
as a
hear.
name.
Let's see here.
You can search on Google.
Yeah, you can do that always.
But in these two,
So let, if I want to say variable, one variable, right?
Yeah.
So can I say if?
No.
No.
Can I? Let's say here is something.
No, it's wrong.
You see, even when you're using this ID, ID, like
What it says?
or Visual Basic.
Unexpected token.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try with something. I want to see. It's like we are in which class? Class 7. Let's say class
No.
No.
07, right?
Do not use it.
Why?
you can.
Because
Because
class.
it refers to something in the language.
Sorry?
It refers to
It's a
something.
tag. It's a
Oh, it's a function. Class is a function.
Let's see. Still a problem, right? And why is the problem? Is number 39, and this is exactly here.
Could you do the bracket down? I want to see what they give you. There is no number. Okay.
If you click on this here, it shows you where exactly it's giving the error. So click the line, it take you there. So yeah, you're right, Amira. It's what you said. I cannot use the language.
Something else in the language, like you cannot say class because class, which means something else, but it's not. I don't know how to explain it, but class, we know what is class, so we cannot name it class because it refers to something else.
Can I do that?
No. Because switch is another function.
These are commands, basically.
This one?
Yeah, this one, yes, because it's a mistake in writing. Yeah.
Oh, a mistake. Sorry.
I got you. Yeah, now you can.
So basically, this is the called reserved keyword. So in each language, it has some vocabulary language, right? The engine has a different meaning to this word. It has some interpretation. These are the words, and then there are very few, each language has. So these are the words you can use as a reference, as like a variable. You can use this like as a string or any other cases, but you cannot declare any variable with this one. Or you cannot also say let const like that, or var. You cannot do that. So these are the one that it doesn't allow, right? In many other, it's IDE. That's why you were saying you can see this red line and you can see it. But in other, probably in a plain notepad, you will not notice this one. So how should we read the error? Always look at the console. If it's the last line is red, then it's an issue. We need to fix it. And where is the issue? Line number 39, and the issue is unexpected token and syntax error. If you see this kind of thing, so you are probably messed up with something like not allowed. It's
using the ID in the wrong way.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not like a logic issue. It's a more of like you misuse some variable name or something, right? So this is how you also read error messages. Yeah. Does it make sense? Excellent.
You can see the word in the page.
Okay, so we.
Even if it's necessary to use this word, we can use the dash before the word or a dollar sign. So
Yeah. Then it's not the same word, right? Yeah, like you can do this way. For instance, class, right? Like this one. Something. Then it's not anymore a class, right? It's something else. Underscore class. So you can always do that. Yeah. So probably I would suggest, should we go for a break? When is the lunch break? From 2? So should we go for direct to lunch break, or we want to have a small break?
You are allowed to.
I'm asking the people actually. Are you tired, or we should continue, or take a small break?
We can go at 2.
Huh?
2?
Continue. Oh, that's great. That's a good spirit. It means that I'm doing good. No one get bored.
I've been seeing the next homework.
Yeah.
And I think we should go.
Discuss.
I think because the next homework is
It's
something
tough.
that we have never done before.
I didn't get it. The next one.
I mean,
The homework for this week?
The
Yeah.
homework of week 2
Yeah.
are something that we are not doing now.
No.
I think we should keep going.
Okay.
we can get the
continue to that.
get
Excellent.
what
Okay,
we-
guys, I got
we
you what
do.
you're saying. Yeah. I have no break. I have no break. That means. Yeah. Okay. Basically, I'm also covering here as well. Something is a beautification, a debugging error, naming convention as well, right? Probably before going to a break, I just can cover this naming convention and DOM manipulation. And function and loop take a bit heavy load, so we can talk after the break, okay? Okay, so naming convention, that is very important. I told you, name should be meaningful, right? So, like this one. If I write this one this way, no one will object, right? Right? But if you are very poor like me, then I will have a very hard time because I'm not very good in English or that many long words. So I will not able to read what is this means word right here. So it should be meaningful way. You can do it in this way.
Camel case.
in earlier people was using many dashes, you know, dash, hyphen, like this one. So I used to be working like this in dash, but in many language dash has also very specific meanings. For instance, in JavaScript, when we want to declare like this one, var, before let and const came, right? So we want to say something is like a private variable and public variable. Do you know what is private and public?
Yeah.
What is it?
Public variable that mean that everybody can see use it.
So basically, then this scope, right? You will be get introduced to this one as well in future. Let's see, where is this? I make a mistake here. Let's say I made some mistake, right? Let's see, investigate where it is. I couldn't find. Where is it? Line number 16. Anyone can help? What I did here?
Yeah, the var.
See, it says unexpected token, right? And line number 26. And there's nothing wrong here, line number 26, I see. But it's saying here, it's basically because of this line. And this line I started here, I didn't finish. That's why it started complaining here. Okay? Let's change it. So I should be very good. I should be good here, right? Oh, again.
So did you change the name?
Oh, you changed the.
I changed this.
Oh, you changed the name.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Excellent.
You
Yeah.
changed the name of tab.
Yes. Let's stay with this error, or I can just do what? I can just comment this block. How do you comment this entire block? Because I am in.
Control slash.
Are we all in same place? Okay.
But it's not in all the computers. Only you can use it.
Hey guys.
Slash asterisk.
No. See, look at here. I'm having an issue, right? I'm just start experimenting something, right? In the middle of the code. And I want to do something here, but I said, okay, these are the, if I want to fix it, I have to, what should I fix? I should replace it here, right? Replace it here, right? And then, and here, and then it will work, right? It is working, right? If I want to say, okay, no, not this way. People like this, like this way, something. So how should I experiment this? Every time I do here, and it gives me error, right? So I should be able to comment this code temporarily, so I can do the experiments. How should I comment this code, this block of code?
Control slash.
Control slash.
No, only in your computer. In Mac, it doesn't work.
Just do it.
So
Two slash.
Doesn't work in Mac.
no, it's not about the keyword, keyboard key. I'm talking about what is the this way, right?
But
So-
you can do
If it is
the
a
biggest one.
polyglot, you can use like slash and star.
Asterisk. Yeah. That.
And meaning that I can do here, right?
Yeah. And close it.
Anyone confused?
But there is a shortcut.
Don't talk about the shortcut. Yeah, I know you are smarter than me. Yeah, that's fine.
I noticed. I didn't say that. I have more tools.
Why you don't want to take the credit? It's good, man.
Sorry?
I'm giving you the credit. It's not a bad thing.
No, because I know you are smarter than me.
No. You never know. I'm pretending. Okay, guys. So I just commented this line, right? Piece of block. So if our code is really long, so what should I do? Like I should also write something, right? So it can remember why I'm commenting this one. So
For checking.
for
For
checking.
experimental purposes.
Okay. So you remember, right? Then you refactor it.
No error.
Okay, excellent. So what I was saying here, in some language, before let and const, you are calling var, and let's say is Sunny this way, this line. So if we declare this way, so basically we want to pretend like this is a private variable. So it means that we don't want to share this out of this class, this block of code, so we can use it in everywhere. But var doesn't allow, but it's just an mindset. So if the developer reads each other code, if it's starting with the underscore, so we pretend like this is a private variable. This is the reason. So then people say, okay, no, don't use this one. Probably we can use like the camel case way, right? This is the way. So this is the now is mostly accepted way of writing variable. So you can write and read each word, and the value what you're assigning, it should reflect the variable as much as possible. It doesn't necessarily should be, but it should be as much as possible. And also for const, sometimes if you want to say this is a fixed value, you can do like this one.
Constant value.
Week day, like this. So whenever you see like a capital word like this one, here you cannot say camel case, or you cannot differentiate, right? So you use the underscore. So this way you can see this is a static value, right? Even though you can also use let, no one will stop you, right? But it's a convention that we try to follow. So this is the way you identify this is a keyword. It has a static value. That's it. Yeah, static value like this. But if it's like a const, weather, if you're defining something like is sunny day here, you can give 32. Or okay, before I do this one, I don't know, I'm now making a spaghetti code. In condition, do you know there's a if, else, and what else?
While, for.
No, the conditions.
Oh, else if.
Else if also there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So forget about the naming convention now. I want to cover that one. So now this is time we just uncomment our code, right? So it's sunny day here. This one, this one, this one. Okay. What is the intermediary stage? Like I'm happy, I'm not happy, or something could be different mood.
Else if.
And what is the mood?
What?
What is the mood? What do you not have? Happy, not happy. What is else? Confused, let's say.
You don't know what is happening.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're happy or not.
Yeah, I'm confused.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm confused.
So where do we feed this one here, right? It should execute. This is the way,
Else
right?
if.
Else,
Space if.
this way, right?
Yeah.
And then?
Condition. Console inside. You have to define the condition.
What is the condition then?
I don't know if it's Monday. I don't know.
So always, you can define, let's say,
Yeah, with another temperature or something.
you can always say like this, 1 equal 1, but it will never execute, right?
Yeah.
Or it will execute maybe.
You can use it sunny day equal 32. I'm confused.
Sunny day, it will be rainy as well.
Maybe you can say it like this way. Oh, this is a nice one. Do you know what is this?
No, you should. Okay, yeah.
No, equal to you can give. That's fine. You can do it this way as well, right? If it's 32 and greater than.
Bigger equal.
Bigger. Yeah. Sometimes you can do this. You also do that. So for here, if it's 34, then I'm confused. Oh no. Why is that?
It's equal.
See here, because it's always true, right? So what I should do here?
Less equal.
Less equal?
33.
32. 33 or 32?
No, less than 33. Less than 33. Okay, that's it.
33, yes.
Because 33 is in the middle one.
So I'm confused. So you see, you know what? If you define anything, it will never come here, right? Else block, right? How can I come here in else block? What should I define here?
You have to change.
Let's remove the something, you know, stuff.
You cannot ever. Yeah.
How can I come to say I'm not happy?
If these condition
No.
Yeah, definitely I can do like this one, right? If I make it as a string, then it will say yeah, no. Really? Anyway, I'm not going there, right?
I'm confused.
I'm confused, yes. So probably you can say, you know, now I'm going a bit complex. So I want to say if it's less than 33 but greater than 20, then I'm happy. If it's cold, I'm not actually happy, right? Cold is like below 20. How do I go below 20?
And
Can't you add that to the beginning?
Where? Here?
Like no, before is sunny day. Like you make 20 if bigger is Sunday then smaller.
If is sunny,
No. If 20, for example.
we get 20.
No. Okay, you start with 20. You add sunny day, and then you add 33.
Like this way.
but you can do it in the middle, the same condition.
Like you squeeze is a sunny day between the.
Like
20
it's
is
sunny
smaller
day.
than is sunny day smaller than 33.
No, you can do. If sunny day is between 33 and 20, I'm happy. If it's more than 33 or equal to 33, I'm confused. So if it's less than 20, I'm not happy.
Let's try it. Say it's 18 degree today. So still happy, right? Why is that?
Because it is smaller than 33.
Greater
And
than
bigger.
No, less than 20.
Oh, sorry, less than.
Less
Yeah,
than
yeah,
20.
you're right. I just did mistake here. Yes. So I'm not happy, right?
But too much code.
Yeah, too much code, right? It's basically it's a piece of code that will work, you know, forever, solid, bulletproof. But the thing is that here is too much logic, right? We should also avoid too much logic here and too much if-else condition. That is confuses, right? So how can I just combine them, club them? So we need to find a way that, okay, there will be many challenges you will find in the exercise that there's a lot of condition you need to do here and there. So you can combine them somehow, right?
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, we just added, right? So here, if it's less than 20, right? And then I'm not happy. And then if it's greater than less than 30, oh, it's same, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
less than 33.
30?
Yeah.
Then I'm happy again.
Yeah.
So we should do between 33 and 20.
And how do you do it? Can anyone?
It's sunny day minus 33 and more than 20.
And sunny day?
More than 20.
So more can become here, right? More can come here. 20. And then
No.
That's smaller than.
That's more than 20.
sorry. Right, this
Sunny day is greater than.
It's both
more than 20
Yeah.
and then smaller than
Smaller
33, then I'm happy, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So in that case, this one, do you need that one?
I'm
No?
confused.
Yes,
yeah, because-
yes, because you.
Probably
added the
we
equality.
can add this one here, right? It will be more meaningful here, and then right.
In the line you just deleted, you had an equality.
Sorry,
You had an equality.
where?
Well, in the line you deleted. So you're missing an equality.
Okay, yes. Let's try out. So now it's bit. Yeah, I understand. I'm coming to this point. So now it's a bit more readable, right? So here, if it's less than 20, I'm happy. If it's sunny, if it's more than 20 and less than 33, I'm happy. Otherwise, I'm confused, right? Let's try this one. Is it working? Yes, I'm happy. And if it's 34, I'm confused. If it's 25, I'm happy, right? If it's 20, really?
Yeah, because you don't declare it.
Strictly bigger.
You have to put the
You made it
equal
strictly
after
bigger.
smaller.
It was not equal. Can you go to the code?
Yeah.
Like me?
Can I know in the corner? Can you help me with that? Yes. Why it's confused here? What should I do?
Yes. And your value is 20.
Okay. Maybe you can you help me?
I just repeat the question again.
So I just input here is Sunday is 20, right? So 20 is not really I'm confused. I'm happy, but it's saying I'm confused. What should I do? How can I fix? No, no, no. I know.
It's not included in our program.
Yeah, what? And how can I include them? I want to fix it.
Yeah, we should have to make if Sunday is less than or equal to n.
Where is the line? Which line? Do you see the number here? Which?
The line means that I'm not happy.
Can you just tell me which line?
Line 24.
24. Yes, 24. Yeah. What should I do?
If Sunday is
Yeah.
less than or equal to n.
Less than or equal to?
20.
But
So
20,
we
yeah.
can make a similar.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
This way, right?
Yeah.
And I'm happy, right? So you can actually achieve this one in many ways, right? I think you can also imagine like that this, here, and also if you said here is not happy, right? But 20, I said I want to be happy. So you can define it here, right? But also in another way, people also do this one. So if you do this one, see here, less than equal, it's a bit confusing sometimes, right? So instead of this equal thing, you can say if it's less than here, less than 19. So if it's 20, I want to be happy, right? So if it's greater than 19, or sorry, less than 20 here. Sorry.
Yeah, but if you are in sunny day 19,
Yeah.
what's going on? If you do
But the problem
in sunny
is
day
if the
19,
temperature comes between 19 to 20.
There's nothing in between, right? We don't want to do a fraction, 19.5.
No.
no, it
Yeah.
give you I'm happy.
Mm.
It give you I'm happy, but it doesn't make sense because
Yeah,
because
that's true. I agree.
Why would you even bother?
It should be like less than
Yeah,
20,
because,
and from here, right, equal to 20. I think it's more makes sense. Yeah, it's more makes sense. Yeah, excellent. So this is the way. Thank you. And this is this way you can write many if-else condition, but try to minimize this one. And one more important thing I want to see here. Let's say I want to see create a variable, right? Is signed and here my mood, right? And my mood is nothing yet, so I want to store in a variable, right? And here I can say I'm happy. Happy, right? I'm just removing this one.
yeah, instead of too much.
So you're basically changing the variable according to
Yeah.
the value.
I'm just removing all of them console and want to do it in the end. Oh, sorry. We'll take break in 5 minutes. Is it okay?
You will not have anything anyway. Okay, yeah,
Okay, people are that hungry?
Now you get something. My mood.
That's what it is.
Oh, my mood. Okay. Okay. So what do you expect here?
20. So I'm happy.
Yeah, just one line because I removed all of them, right? That's fine. So basically, it was many lines here, and we need a bracket to block them, right? So we can also now remove the bracket here because it's one line, right? And it will still work or not?
What?
Will it still work?
No.
No.
No, I don't think so.
It will still work. There's no problem.
But in other programs, if you don't use the curly bracket on if, only if, it doesn't work. In else, you can even take them off.
So basically, in JavaScript, I don't know about the other program which you're referring.
Java.
Yeah, maybe, yes. So basically, if you are writing a condition here, this one condition, right? This is another condition, line number 25, 27, 29, right? Each condition followed by one line, then the bracket is not mandatory. But if you want to write a multiple line should follow this condition, then it should be mandatory for you. no question asked. But for simplicity and like a like we declare a variable in a meaningful way, camel case, all these things. So it is recommended to use a bracket all the time. So then people will understand, okay, where I am, what is the scope of the condition here, how many lines it should be, and also it will give us allow us to write many lines if you want right here. If you are putting all this thing in the bracket, right? So definitely I just can type a new code. If it's not a bracket, then I need to refactor all this thing with a bracket and then put stuff, right? And then if I start putting bracket here, then I should put bracket for simplicity in every stage, and if else if and else all these places. But even it will work here. See here, I'm just doing bracket in if, not in else if. It will still work. There's no issue. See here, I'm just changing the value. Confused. It will still work. So now see, my code is not readable. It's look like the if is like a separate piece of block, and else if and else is the different piece of block, right? So to make it consistent, I should be doing a bracket and putting this line is here. Right? Sorry. Like this. So now you see it's a piece of block. No, you don't like it, but this is the way we actually prefer.
To don't make the interface with the else.
Sorry.
To make how do you to go back with the else instead of making the same line.
Okay, yeah, I know you're saying here to go here, right? But this is a way it's more readable. It's like one piece of block. It's doing only one thing. This way it's recommended, but you can do any way you prefer, right? I showed you, right? Okay, now let's take a quick 1 minute left. Quick one. So my mood is happy.
But this is the standard of kind of writing, yes?
Yeah, standard of writing, and. So, what can I do? I want to say, and I'm hungry. Yes, like, right? What you'll write here? And I'm hungry. But I want to make it a bit smarter here. So it depends on my mood. If I'm happy, let's say. It depends on the day, right? So if it's more than less than 32 degrees, then I'm hungry. Others, I'm not. How do you make it?
Say it again.
Yeah, if it's less than 32, then I'm hungry because it's happy day for me. Otherwise, I'm not hungry. So you can also write a condition in one line. That's called ternary way of doing it. So here, just showing it. You don't have to grab it now. So if it's the condition, what's my condition? If it's less than, right? Less than 33, then this way. Hungry. Otherwise,
the condition is true, so execute the hungry.
So this is called ternary expressions. Okay. So basically, this also the first section is doing a condition, like a if, but we are not declaring like a if. And then the second bracket is the second parameter syntax is a question mark. It is separating condition with some execution, right? So the first part, if it's truly, then it goes to the first part with it's separated by colon. It always separated by colon. This is syntax. So this is the first section before the question mark, and then it followed by colon, and in between you can have multiple stuff. So if it's less than 33, then I'm hungry. Others, I'm not hungry, right? Let's see. Still, oh, I'm not hungry. Why is that?
Because it's less than 33.
Yeah, so we shouldn't go
you
for
have
break.
to put the plus between and by hand.
So we shouldn't go for break, right? So to go to break, let's make it, you know, a nice day.
Make it
No, I'm hungry.
Okay, let's go.